Welcome to the show, 5-Stripe fam. I'm AJ. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to another episode of 5-Stripe Weekly, and a lot has been going on in the Atlanta United world. The new kit finally was unveiled, as well as a lot of other kits around MLS. But yes, the 17s kit has been finally unveiled. A little bit of a whimper in terms of the actual kind of pomp and circumstance around it, but the actual kit itself obviously is an homage to the 2017 inaugural season kit, and man, my opinion on it is a beauty. I mean, with the gold trim, with the little slight kind of variations on the original. It's something that's is a little bit more kind of a spruced up version of the 2017 version, if you will. Obviously, the black bars are more of the prominent thing versus previously it was more that it was that it was based around the red. But yeah, it's matching a little bit more of the actual crest itself. But in terms of what the team has put out there, they said, quote, "Equal parts grit and glory, equal parts supporter and club. Our 2023 primary kit is a throwback to where it all began. This kit is for you, our supporters. Every stitch embodies the spirit of 17 because everything we earn together. This is the 17s kit. If you feel that Atlanta United's new primary kit looks familiar, you likely aren't alone." But yeah, anyway. It is, definitely, along with that Forest kit, we have a couple of, good little, change kits that we will be wearing in the 2023 season. Also, in this Dirty South Soccer article, Atlanta United Vice President of Business Operations, Georgia O'Donoghue, he mentioned that it really takes us back to our core 5-stripe look, quote unquote. And he says, that gives us the opportunity to tell the story of our 5 pillars: unity, excellence, community, determination, and innovation. And he also said, quote, "And the railroad tracks, the 2 black stripes running down the middle, which we love getting back to," she added. So, it's definitely a color scheme that's we are all very familiar with, and now it's something that's with those little touches on the authentic kits, we are the A jock tag, and on the back, the United with the 17 as the I and the T. There's some really nice touches if you can afford the authentic version with a name on the back. It's almost $200. A lot of people are having some issue with that, myself included. I usually don't get the authentic kit, to be fair, but it is one of those where, if you can't afford it, smoke them if you got them, right? But she went on to mention that is something we know is important to us to represent our city well. And it's one of these where I think this is, something that the fans were clamoring for. And so, it is, I think, if we can get back to that glory of yesteryear, this might be a good catalyst for that, in that, the fans can connect with this kit as well. I think that's kind of all part and parcel of kind of the waning of the fandom to a degree in Atlanta United's sphere. It's been, as the results have dipped, as the disconnection with what we want and what has been happening, this might be a good start in that right direction. But so there have been a couple of preseason matches, a couple of friendlies during this past week as well. Of course, the AmFam Cup on Wednesday, in which shout out to our boy DJU, who got a whole stage and everything. Definitely, it was fun to see him kind of get the whole thing riled up, as well as that halftime show with the lasers. It was definitely pretty cool to see, and maybe that might be a staple of the halftime things in the future. We shall see. But yeah, Atl United, they played Toluca FC, and we of course previously had won this cup, but Toluca, they definitely didn't mess around. They had a lot of first-team players really in and about that 11 and play pretty much a lot of the match. But it definitely was a back-and-forth game for sure in terms of goals. Lots of them, 7 goals. But it was a good back-and-forth. First half, we played pretty much what might be our starting 11, sans a couple players, but the second half was a lot of Atl United 2 and Academy players, and honestly, they played really quite well. They connected a lot of good possession, and you had Luke Brennan score a really good goal at the top of the box, but after that flick from Ajani Fortune. But in terms of that, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but that first half, in the 17th kit, Brooks Lennon opened the scoring, and of course we were back at the Bends for the first time in 2023 here, and in this new primary kit, and in terms of it just really only took a couple minutes, and Lennon found a lot of space to take a few touches and get it on his left and score it on his left. And really well taken goal. I mean, we all know Brooks Lennon is a right footer, and so really good to see him get on the score sheet as well. And from right back, find himself in the box. So it is great to see there. Unfortunately, the lead was not for very long, unfortunately. But after the 15th minute of that Lennon goal, we were able to actually score that second goal, but this lead just kept dwindling at the time we reached halftime, unfortunately. But in terms of our second goal, Luis Araujo, he's looked a man on fire this preseason, scoring in pretty much nearly every game. And this one, he was able to really create a ton of space, streaking to his left, and pretty much get really close inside the 6 and just put it away at the near post. It was definitely just a wow moment for sure. Definitely something that I think we will want to see a lot of Araujo doing. And wow, I mean, we're up 2-0, 17th minute, but that's when Toluca FC, they started to mount their comeback, and they were able to knock it past our starting goalkeeper on the day, Quentin Westberg. Guzan and Robinson didn't start this match, kind of pretty much due to the rest that was needed, because there was a match on Saturday as well. But we also saw Machop Chol play up top again at the striker position, and he was making some good pressing movements, had some moments where he was able to get on the end of some balls, and unlucky not to be able to finish, I think. But then he had to come off with an injury, and Jackson Conway did come on. But pretty much right before the half, a stoppage time goal by Toluca, and we went into halftime at 2-2. So a little bit where it was up for grabs. It could have been anybody that could have won this, and well, it kind of was that. I mean, we like I said, with the Luke Brennan goal, really well taken goal and some good build-up play pretty much throughout the half. But Toluca, with their experience over our young kids, unfortunately pulled it out. I mean, a kind of freak goal a little bit to make it 3-3, and then unfortunately, yeah, Toluca was able to find the winner, and yeah, it is unfortunately 4-3, 80th minute, and I think we just kind of pretty much ran out of time. I mean, it was we kept pushing, but unfortunately, we were not able to find the equalizer. So, yeah, Toluca, they win the AmFam Cup, and yeah, it is one of those where before this, or after this, still, we were winless in the preseason. So, but yeah, a couple notes from this match. Sejdic, Luis Abram, Yorgos Yakumakis, and also Ozzy Alonso, they were not training, so they did not play this match. Sosa, he was running laps by himself in training, but yeah, there was apparently a minor adductor strain in Mexico, and also Caleb Wiley, he hit his he pretty much, it was a collision and pretty big welt after the game, but yeah, it is something that he played the rest of that half and apparently was okay. But me personally, young kid, I would have liked to see him just taken off. I mean, the doctors and trainers apparently okayed him to continue, but I mean, there's no need to risk him in this meaningless friendly. But alas, Pineda, I guess, listened to his doctors and said that it was fine, but I don't know. I mean, it still just doesn't sit well with me. Young kid, I mean, especially brain still developing. You know this. You know this if you watch NFL. It's something that is not good for the brain at all. But yeah, Wiley did mention after the match that he does remember the play, but that they aren't sure if it's a concussion yet. And yeah, it's something that hopefully it is not. But like I also mentioned, Machop Chol, he felt a sensation in his leg and he was taken off as a precautionary measure. Probably should have been Wiley as well. But yeah, Pineda, he also mentioned after the match that the team could potentially also bring in another forward. That third signing that they are going to make but have not rushed into it. Yeah, I mean, it probably should be a midfielder, to be fair, as we need definitely some more dynamism in our number 8 position, and I think we'd feel a lot more safe and a lot more kind of encouraged, I think, if we had somebody that was able to bring a lot more of the elements that we need in that midfield of ours. But yeah, also Luke Brennan, he mentioned after the match, after scoring that goal, that won him the Golden Spike, Man of the Match honors. He said he used to spend his time at the Benz as a ball boy, so it was a really cool moment for him. And yeah, he said he's working towards a homegrown deal. And yeah, I mean, definitely, it was a really well-taken goal. But also another player that showed some really good promise here, had a little shaky moments here and there, but overall, I think recognized the danger very well. Noah Cobb, he started at center back and pretty much played the entire match. And yeah, I mean, it was, I think, something, well, in terms of Pineda, he mentioned that it was a fantastic experience tonight for young players, and that Cobb played a different center back role than other times this preseason, and it was unfair to judge him harshly tonight, and that mentioned that he has a high ceiling. So yeah, definitely a lot of people in the organization are high on Noah Cobb. But yeah, so that wraps it up for this match, and to the match that we all didn't get to see, of course, in St. Louis FC, or St. Louis City, rather. We played them on Saturday, closed door friendly, no stream, and it was the final match of the preseason for Atl Utd. And, well, yeah, I mean, they were able to see the new City Park. This is a new inaugural side, or inaugural season for this side in MLS. And, yeah, they will be facing Charlotte FC on March 4th. But yeah, Atl Utd, faced them for the first time, of course, and it was, pretty interesting. The lineup, we saw Luke Brennan starting in midfield after that goal of his. He earned a start, and Brad Guzan and Miles Robinson were back in the starting 11, and Derek Etienne Jr. and Luis Abram were included in the team for the first time, so that was good to see in the starting 11 graphic. But in terms of the goals, it ended up a 2-1 win for Atl United, and Luis Araujo, that man again, scored the first goal in the 10th minute, and the home team in St. Louis FC, they tied the match after that, but then Thiago Almada found the winner. He scored from the penalty spot just before the half, and apparently it was a handball. But second half saw Etienne Jr. get his first minutes, and Luis Abram as well, and it ended a 2-1 win. But of course, Atl United, they will be facing San Jose Earthquakes on February 25th for the home opener at the Benz. So it will be a full Benz, hopefully, but all three levels of the venue will be open. So that wraps it up for the preseason, and the one win, lots of draws, a couple losses. Not a screamer of a preseason, not one that really inspires a ton of confidence, but we still have a lot of players that have not played a ton of minutes that we just brought in, so it's one of those where, it's kind of an incomplete type of preseason where we barely had really all of our first choice players. But anyway, moving on to Atl United 2, they announced their preseason schedule, and they will play a total of 5 matches at the CHOA, at the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta training ground up there in Powder Springs, but in terms of, or not Powder Springs, but anyway, in Marietta. The season, of course, will be played in the MLS Next Pro League, and the first preseason friendly takes place on February 18th versus the Georgia Revolution, or Georgia Revolution FC. But they'll a week later host Savannah Clovers. And then on the first day of March, they'll play Knoxville FC before facing Greenville Triumph SC 3 days later. So, and then the 2 final preseason fixtures for them, they'll host Kalanji Soccer Academy Pro, and then they'll go to Charlotte to play Crown Legacy FC. So, all these, unfortunately, will be closed to the fans, but I'll give you an update when we have them on those fixtures and those results. But also a great thing to note here for Atl United fans: if you're a T-Mobile or Metro customer, you will get the MLS season pass on Apple TV for free. So if you have those carriers. They're definitely making wayroads to get a lot of people, Apple TV, so you can watch every match and other MLS matches if you want. But anyway, moving on to eMLS, Paulo Neto. Man, this man is running eMLS right now, and he is representing Atl United with another trophy. And yes, he wins his 3rd straight trophy for the club, and I mean, he's just balling out in the esports league, and it is fantastic to see. And after even that, now our 2 esports professional players, Paulo Neto and Young, they are both called up for the Brazilian national esports team, nicknamed the eSeleção. So there will be 6 gamers, and it'll be very interesting. I mean, there's a Brazilian esports national team, and they are at the top of the world FIFA 23 ranking, and that's obviously, probably absolute thanks to Paulo Neto and Young. But anyway, so moving on from that, there is an Anton AW5 family fund in honor of Anton Walks. And yeah, there were several Charlotte and Atl United supporters groups that helped develop and are selling this custom summer scarf, where 100% of the proceeds will be donated to the AW5 Family Fund. So yeah, you can check it out on mintcitycollective.com/products/Anton. And yeah, definitely get out there on that website if you can and support Anton Walks' family. They're very young family that will definitely help in any of those costs in his untimely passing. But moving on from that, the home opener, we'll do a little match preview right now, a little quick and dirty, because this is a thing. There's probably not a lot to go on. We'll be playing the San Jose Earthquakes, of course, February 25th at the Benz. But in terms of what to really expect, man, I mean, you know, San Jose, they've had a decent preseason, and looking at their starting 11, of course, you know, the danger men, I think, would be Jeremy Abobasi and Jackson Ewell. That's are players that we should keep an eye out for. But in terms of our starting 11, it'll be very interesting who actually comes in, who's actually had enough minutes to actually be able to start for us. I think that's really the key, and who's actually fit and who's able to be available. So I think it's going to be, in terms of our starting 11, Brad Guzan and Andrew Gutman is going to be that left back, of course. Juanjo Borata, the left center back. Miles Robinson, the right center back. And Brooks Lennon as the right back. If he's healthy enough, Santiago Sosa, I think, will start at the 6. Mateo Susetu will be the midfield pairing with him, and Thiago Almada will be at the 10. That left wing will be the question here, but I think it's going to be Caleb Wiley starting there. I think we definitely were playing very well with him to start the Toluca match, so I think I see him there. Luis Araujo, of course, the man on fire, he will be at right wing. And up top, that's really the question. If Machop Chol is healthy, I mean, you have Yorgos Yakumakis, who has not really played at all. I doubt he starts, but I think it's going to be Jackson Conway, who also started against St. Louis City. So it is going to be very interesting, the starting 11, but I think, you know, rolling into the score prediction, you know, we've had a mixed preseason. I think we're a little shaky at the back at times. We are going to score goals, I think, too, though. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. It's going to be quite a number of goals, but at the end of the day, it will be a sharing of the points for LA United and the San Jose Earthquakes. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below what your prediction's gonna be. But yeah, that pretty much is the episode there and there, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, which new player are you most excited about? Is it Derek Etienne? Is it Yorgos Yakumakis? Is it Luis Abram? Let us know in the comments below. Looking forward to what you have to say. But guys, the new season is upon us. You know, spam your emojis in the comments below. And yeah, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I've been AJ. I will see you in the next video.